lady, Sadia Khan. She's a Pakistani dating coach, hypergamy coach, whatever. The fact that this lady has all of these videos talking all this stuff, talking like she got all the answer, and she's over here taunting a married woman about sucking the peen of her husband. That's crazy to me. And not to mention of her husband. That's crazy to me. And not to mention this Sadia Khan is a very beautiful woman. Is the self-esteem in the depths of hell or what? Because what are we talking about here? You have women that tell you that they will, the sounds going in and out is probably some people reporting me, I guess. I'm not for sure. But if you guys can keep liking the live, hopefully that will help. Or maybe I will go ahead and end the live because I did get a whole bunch of new subscribers or new followers here on TikTok. And normally when that happens, I just go and block the majority of them, which is why my number been staying the same, because I just go through and block most of the new followers. So maybe that's what I'll do. But y'all, if y'all keep liking the live, let me know if it's still skipping. If y'all keep liking the live, maybe it will stop. If you guys can get me to 10K, is it still skipping right now? Can y'all let me know, is it still skipping? Okay, maybe if you guys keep liking the live, it will. But what I wanted to say is that, let's see. Oh no, you guys say it's skipping? It's still skipping, y'all. If you guys can power tap, that would be great. But anyway, what I was about to say is so this lady that I'm talking about, Sadia Khan, she's a very beautiful woman. When I talked about Ashley Dalton before, she's an attractive woman, beautiful woman. You talk about Shira Seven. Shira Seven's an attractive woman. You talk about all of these women, right? And they will tell you to accept all of this type of mistreatment. It doesn't matter if you're not loved. It doesn't matter if you're getting cheated on and all of these things. And my thing is if you are being dogged out and mistreated and treated as less than, what is the purpose of putting so much effort into your looks? I don't understand it. It's not like you're getting treated any better than somebody that you would say is ugly, or anybody that you would say that you don't like their body, that they're bad built or whatever. So what is the purpose in putting all of the effort into how you look only to get treated probably worse than a woman that's in a relationship with a man and she don't work out and go to the gym and do nothing with herself, but she's got a man that's really crazy about her? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. And that's how I know that a lot of it is about pushing forth a certain aesthetic for women to look at. So there are women that will come, make sure that their hair is done, their nails are done, their skincare is right, they're working out, they're making sure that they are not overweight or anything like that in order to sell women an image. But that image is just a mirage. It's not real, because these women are getting treated and done dirty just like everybody else. These women are side chicks and being, you know what I'm saying, some man's you know what I'm saying, booty call, you know? So anyway, that's number 3. Number 4, I wanted to talk about when women advise you to take mistreatment for money. That is always bad advice. If a woman tells you, oh, it doesn't matter if he cheats on you, oh, it doesn't matter if he disrespects you, as long as you're getting some money out of the deal, that anyone that tells you that is honestly giving you the worst advice of all time. Really. And it's getting out of hand that so many Black women still fall for this. Number 5, Black women and the fantasy of a rich millionaire. I've already talked about this, and just said that, anyone telling you that they know how you can present yourself to get a millionaire, I really want you to know that 99% of the time they're lying to you, truthfully. And they're preying on your delusion and your fantasies. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about it, or have any discussions about this, or do you guys know who Sadia Khan is or not? Have you guys seen this Pakistani advisor or not? Um y'all let me know. Oh, I got two requests. Just a second. Let me add you guys up here. Let's see. Hold on. I'm getting you guys up here. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, hey Triggered, good
If you have
afternoon. I unfortunately do know who she is, and like I mean I never really followed her like intensively, but like I would kind of, just see her, like I guess because of the social media algorithm or whatever, but I did hear that like voice note where she was saying, I guess she was like talking to this woman who's she was messing around with this woman's fiance, and she was saying, oh, I could, s his, what, if I want to, if he had have an attitude. And to me, that was just so insane, because it's like you are like in your, I think she's in her 30s or 40s. It's like, how are you, why are you content to do that? Like, why is this something you want to do? Like, you are a fully grown adult, and you're doing this. That just like blew my mind. But and as other people are saying, it's like really interesting that she, Sadia Khan was doing that, because it's like she will talk about being a high value woman. She'll talk about, oh, how in order for a woman to be high value, you need to know how to reject attention. It's like, okay, if you believe that, then okay, practice what you preach. Like, why? Like, what are you doing? So, I mean, so yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. To me, that's absolutely insane. And I do agree with you that a lot of these like dating coaches are, not, honest, and not serious. And it seems like, as you were saying, more and more of them are being exposed for, not living the lives that they preach. Like as we've talked about in other lives, like there's this woman named Isis Morales or whatever. What did she call herself? Like the trophy, oh my god, the trophy princess, the trophy wife, whatever. And she was, coming online and telling women how to quote unquote get a high value man. I guess she wanted to be like the Shira 7 2.0, or what have you. And then it came out that her husband was doing all of this stuff to their daughters. And, I mean, I really do think that in most cases, these dating coaches, whatever they're saying, should be taken with a grain of salt. And it's like, if you really do want to listen to some of them, it's like, you really need to have some discernment. And I always say that about Shira 7, because like, I don't agree with everything Shira 7. It's just like, I don't think that you should just get with a man that you're not attracted to just for the money, just for, whatever, material benefits you think he's going to give you. I don't think that that's worth it. But if some women do want to listen to these dating coaches, you really do need to have discernment. You really do need to know what to take with you, what to disregard. But I do think, taking these people at face value, I really don't think it's a good idea. I don't think you should ever accept mistreatment. And as far as number 5 goes, the fantasy of a rich millionaire, I really don't think you should live your life preparing to get with a quote unquote rich millionaire. I think you should be living your life and setting yourself up in a way to where you can, if you want to travel and have nice things and whatever the case may be, you can do that on your own. Like, I am 27 years old. I've traveled to 25 countries on my own dime. It really is something that you can do. And I really think that, if you are living your life with, hoping to be, chosen by a man, or hoping to look to these like hypergamy dating coaches for like a step by step on how to like live your life, it's really not going to go well for you. And I think the fact that these coaches keep being exposed is like not what they present to be in most cases, is, a sign that like, don't take everything they say at face value. But oh, I just saw my timer went out, so I'll just land my plane, and then hopefully I can, come back and talk about these prompts more.
Oh, no problem. Okay, okay. I got you. Yeah, we definitely can talk more about it. And I definitely agree with you. I guess it's just exposure time right now. Let me go down here to Chalotem. Hey, how you doing, Coach T?
Hi Trig, hi Gabrielle, hi Supervillain, hi everyone in the
Hey.
chat. So I kind of had a question about this, right? Because I don't know the lady, but when we talk about having a dating coach, I'm kind of on the fence about it because I don't know if I trust people, charging me money to teach me how to date. And I don't necessarily, not for me in particular, because I don't necessarily need dating advice. I get my dating advice from my sisters. But I have a question because I heard somebody say, and the person is not on this live, but it was just like this lady who said she paid Anwar. I don't know if you know Anwar. She paid him like $10,000 to help her find a husband or something, and she was really like happy about it. I watched an interview that she did, and she said something that intrigued me. She said that people have coaches for other parts of their lives, like maybe financial coaches or work mentors, or even like a coach at the gym, and it shouldn't be different when it comes to dating. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like dating is so, like, it's not like one of these things is not like the other, right? Like, it's not like going to the gym. It's not like trying to advance your life professionally. So I'm kind of curious to know what you think about that, like when people bring up that side of the argument. In terms of the fantasy of wanting to date or having a rich millionaire, I think anybody who sells women that kind of dream is just delusional. And I also think that it's kind of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it feels a bit male centered to try to, I don't know how to say this, like it's like it's like wanting a Cinderella story, right? It's like waiting for a man to come and save you when you have so much autonomy over yourself. So the millionaire thing is one thing, like that's delusional in and of itself. But the waiting for a man to do all that for you, like sweep you off your feet, it just comes off as male centered to me. So that's my submission.
All right, all right, all right. I got you, Chilo Tim. I'll tell you. I think that like I think I've been very open with this though. A lot of times women get mad at me when I say it, but I think that following a dating coach or a hypergamy coach, or even asking a woman to like judge you and judge how you look and give her advice to you when she's not a man, so she doesn't even know what men are truly attracted to or what they're looking for, the things that they may not say they like in women. She has no freaking idea. It's all very male centered in my opinion. I think it's insane. I've already said that, but I also think it doesn't make sense from like even with Anwar, right? You have a G man trying to advise women and show them how to get a man when this man doesn't even like women. So how the heck would you know anything? You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense, and it's just a cash grab. And I find it, and then going to the majority of these people, like when you think about the Sadia Khan or Ashley Dalton or a whole bunch of the others, they don't even have anybody. So it's like they're teaching you to do what? Because if they could have that, they would have it themselves. And even when you look at somebody like Shira Seven, who talks about, oh, you need to know that you're not loved. Your man doesn't love you. No men love you. Okay, well then if that's the case, then why are you sitting there like a goofy in the house with your husband? Like, are you dumb? Because I know you get enough money to where you don't have to stay. Like, so why in the world are you there? Like, just it just doesn't make any sense. And I believe that all of it is just things to like, you know what I'm saying? Just to get black women to feel bad about themselves so that they can go ahead and take advantage. Oh, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Fashion Prima Donna. Hey, sister, it's so good to see you. I miss you so much. I had thought about you a little while ago. I did send you a message too, but it might have been in your filter, so you didn't see it. I was like, where is Fashion Prima Donna? I haven't seen her in so long. I hope you are doing great, and I hope you are doing well. For real. Cause I really I missed your presence. Okay, let me go up here to Supervillain and then Miss Conversations with D.
Thanks, Trey. And I just want to answer Chilo's question and then hit one of the topics. I'll do one by one and spin the block because I don't want to monologue. I'm gonna say when it comes to the dating coach. Now, of course, I'm for whatever women want to do as long as it's not harming other women and children. That's gonna be my first thing. I think when it comes to the dating coaches, I think like Trick was saying before, like you would go to a G man who, to me, if you don't date women, and then men's dating men dynamic is very different from men dating women's dynamic. It doesn't make sense to me. Like you wouldn't go to a financial coach who isn't, financially healthy. You wouldn't go to a barber with a jacked up hairstyle, right? You wouldn't go to a nail tech with no fingertips. Like, I'm just trying to be funny. It's like the results. So going to, and I'm not saying that single people can't give you advice in dating, but if your ultimate goal is healthy marriage, you might want to ask the people who are in healthy marriages. That's why I don't give dating advice. I can give you advice on how to be happy and single. If you ever wanted that type of advice, that's what I can definitely expertise in. But when it comes to like the relationships, if you notice, I don't come up here and give relationship advice. I'm not in a relationship and I don't desire to be. So it doesn't make sense for me to give that type of advice. I did want to say I'm gonna start with number 5 and then spin the block. This is why I always say, and I'm not against women dating for security. One thing I want to say is that women tend to want dating or marriage now not just for love anymore or at all. A lot of women now in 2025 are not seeking marriage or relationships for love. They're looking for security. So I'm not going to be mad at a woman who wants to deal whatever she wants to deal with for the sake of money. A lot of women are dealing with the same abuse for the sake of love as well. I'm not for women dealing with abuse at all. I'm the first one to tell y'all it's better for y'all to be single. But if women are gonna choose to do what they want to do, I can't say one is better for the other. Of dealing with abuse is better if it's for love or if it's with for money. But I do want to recognize, and I have to admit that a lot of women in 2025 are no longer seeking relationship or marriage for the love aspect. They are doing it for the security aspect. That's why I said my intention with me before I even finish funding my retirement, I'm building a nest egg for my daughter so that doesn't have to be an option for her. I want her financial option to be, oh, my mother left me a nest egg. I don't have to deal with this, that, and the third from a man. Also, instilling in our daughters, our nieces, our sisters that it's a lot easier to become that millionaire than investing in that millionaire man. Like the effort it takes to be with these millionaire men and the abuse that you can possibly take, if you use that strength and instill it in yourself, you would be the millionaire. Like we got to start pushing our daughters to want to be the millionaire, not to marry the millionaire. And that's my take for number 5. I'll spin the block for the others. Thank you.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, super villain. I just wanted to say that I don't think that women, just I agree with you. I don't think that women should take abuse for the money or for love. Either way is a bad, bad scenario. So I don't think that women should take abuse and getting dogged out by a broke dude or by a rich dude. And I think it's crazy to do it either way. And I'm just really sad. I just focus in on the financial, like doing it for money aspect, only because right now that is currently being romanticized. um as that is actually like such a glamorous lifestyle, and it is not, because if it was, all of these women that have had access to wealth, they wouldn't have left these men and been upset with the way that they were being treated if money was just the cure for any of that. You can have money, but you're still a human being, you're still going to have feelings, and you're still not going to want to be treated in a certain type of way. But yeah, I don't think women should do it regardless, y'all. Just like, Supervillain was saying. But let me go down here to D.
Hey everybody, how y'all
Hey.
doing? Okay, whew, let me step into this. So Supervillain and everybody else hit some good points. So with the dating coaches and the hypergamy coaches or whatnot, do what makes you feel great, what's going to work for you. For me, I think it's not a great investment for everybody. I feel like, to me, you could listen to some of the things, discern accordingly. What I notice is that a lot of them seem to be grifters. A lot of them seem to be doing it for the wrong reason. A lot of them, as a lot of y'all have mentioned, are not even married. How are you going to speak on something that you don't even have? Number one. Number two, not saying that people shouldn't speak, can't give great advice or whatever. I mean, because there's some divorced people that give excellent advice and single people that give excellent advice to other people. But however, it's just hard for them to get it, I guess. I've seen that before. However, with the whole hypergamy thing, have your own money. Like, raise your daughters to have their own. Don't tell no dusty man or whatever about anything that they have. There was a thread where this girl, it could have been a rage bait, but she said that she had inherited a home. One was from her husband that passed away or whatnot. One was another one where she had inherited from her grandmother, right? So the person who she was dating wanted her to put his name on it. And everybody was saying, no, you need to get rid of him. And in the other scenario, they told the young lady to do not marry him. Well, get rid of the one who basically is seeking to take what her husband left for her and her daughters. That's not his. And that you should be mindful of a man that is so quick to take from you and not give, not do anything, not provide. That's a sign. Side chicks accepting money for their self-worth. I think, to me, if you're going to lower yourself to that says a lot about yourself. It says that you don't care about yourself. You don't love yourself as a person, and you don't value yourself. You should not be accepting money for things. You shouldn't accept money for abuse. You shouldn't accept abuse either. Or AB, the dating guru that was exposed. Good. I'm glad they're getting exposed. They need to stop doing fraudulent stuff. And again, you have to discern yourself. All these people are not doing things for the right of everybody. If you're going to sit up there and trust somebody, understand that there's a chance that they may be steering you in the wrong direction. Perfect example. A lot of people say Derek Jackson is a con, right? But he was actually telling people about dusty dudes, how they moved. And I remember a former friend telling me like something about him was like suspect. Like he just seemed like why he always in the car or whatever. I was like, girl, I don't know about that. But anyway, she was right on that level. I do think that he does give good advice. But again, discern yourself. I wouldn't pay him for it. I would just watch his free stuff like the other ones. As far as when women advise you to take mistreatment for money, that's bad advice completely. You should not stay with somebody for money, or regardless if they are treating you wrong. You deserve the best. So I disagree with people staying for the money, because regardless, nah, that's not a good situation. My health is important. My mental health is important. And I don't want my children seeing that. Black women in the fantasy of a rich millionaire. I do believe that some Black women do have that mindset. And it's based off of what they see on social media. It's based off of these individuals that they really should not be following and really should not be viewing as a role model. It's like Supervillain said about her daughter. I value that a lot because my grandmother and my mother instilled that upon me. Have your own, and also like, we will give you money. We don't want you dependent on a man. And when you get married, don't tell him about your nest egg or what you got. When you get married, like for instance, I have a condo, right? They will not be staying in this condo. I will rent this sucker out. I will Airbnb it out. but we will be purchasing a home together because you're not going to touch what's mine. And that comes from another place where, as women, sometimes we talk too much. We need to quit telling these guys everything, quit giving them the blueprint. They're gonna take from you. They're going to take from you. We got to be mindful. Stop telling them everything, because what they don't know, they can't touch. We have to play their game. Like, and I'm not saying play games or whatever, but I'm saying play the role in terms of, like, you're dating for a reason to get married. If that's what you choose to do, get married, right? Everybody don't want to get married. So I respect that. But we have to be more mindful and teach our daughters and our cousins and our nieces, our goddaughters and our sister friends and our whatever, these great, beautiful women, good things. So we don't fall into these traps with these dusties and these Pookies and Ray Rays and stuff. Because we are better. We're great people. We're beautiful. We don't have to settle for less. And don't let nobody tell you that either. And we have to just really be mindful and wise up and discern. So I mean, I'll sell the boat, the
All
ship.
right, all right, all
Pretty
right.
much what I had to say.
All right, I got you. I got you. I just wanted to say one thing in response to what you said, like as far as Derek Jackson goes. Just like fashion prima donna, she took the words out of my mouth because I promised I was about to say the same thing. Like Derek Jackson knew Dusty behavior because he's a Dusty. He knew what type of bad behavior men do because he was doing it all. But I never trusted Derek Jackson, and I remember I tried to tell some black women about Derek Jackson, and they called me everything but a child of God. Told me, let me see what your husband look like, because I know he don't look like Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson cares about black women and all this stuff, and you find out Derek Jackson got his wife up there cheating on her and got her up there with the bonnet of salvation on, looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? I knew that, first of all, when he had her come up there and sit with him, right? And I knew he didn't care for her at that point, even more so because you know how judgmental people are, number one. You definitely know how judgmental women are if they feel like a man is with a woman that they don't think is on his level or whatever. That's what people did to Usher's first wife, and Tamika. So you having her get up there like that, though, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to attack her looks, but I'm just saying you had her come on there with that plain shirt on, with that bonnet on. You didn't even have the lady have her hair done or nothing. You knew that other women were gonna tear her up. You knew that. You knew that, and you let her come up there and look crazy because the only thing you cared about was saving your own image. It was actually ridiculous. And y'all know, y'all talk about Tamika and Usher. It's something, like I said, I don't really talk about black women too. I mean, I do sometimes, but this is something that I really do feel like black women do. Black women want black men sometimes to be with somebody else that doesn't look like them. Like, there are millions of black women that look just like Tamika. And those same women were in the comment sections saying, I can't believe Usher would be with her. Why not? Does that mean that you don't think highly of yourself? Like, there was nothing wrong with her. And the way they treated that lady just for being with him was wild. And when I used to sit there and look at the comments of the black women that would say the most crazy things about her, they didn't look any better. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what are we really talking about here? Like, you hate yourself and you think that black women are lower than everybody else, which is why you think that this man that would be considered quote unquote high value should be with a biracial or a foreign or a white tea Latina or whatever. And I don't know. I was very irritated by that. And I will say that the things that Tamika allegedly did, with the whole relationship with them getting started, was probably questionable. But Usher is also questionable. So, what are we really talking
I
about?
met her before, and she is beautiful in person. I've never questioned her looks, but I did feel some kind of way about how people were saying stuff about her. Like, that to me, that's self-hatred. Just like that statue that was out in New York with that lady. People were all talking about it. I don't know if y'all know about that, but that statue. And the thing about it was, like, that lady looked like a lot of people's big mamas and aunties and stuff. But people were talking about, a lot of men were, and it just goes to show that men would sit up there and talk about women, but yet you talking about your mom, you talking about your grandma, you talking about all kinds of women, and it's so disrespectful. And with the whole Usher and Tamika thing, like literally, she's a beautiful woman, but she was really nasty. I met her. I was a secret shopper back in college or whatever at Toys R Us. And she asked me to tell people to like get away from him. It was hilarious, but like it was a hot mess in Atlanta. It was hilarious. But I don't think she deserved, how she was treated by him. Cause a man, unfortunately, they gonna do shady things at times. And he gonna get his karma too, though. And that's nothing against. I like his music. I don't know him like that, but as a woman, I have to be honest though. That was kind of dusty how he did her, in a sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you for sure. Let me go over here to Chilotam and then Kalandra.
Yeah, thanks again. So I wanted to talk about the I think that's number 4. I'm kind of squinting to see when women advise you to take mistreatment for money. I've never really understood that because maybe because of the kind of family that I come from. Like my mom quit her business before she joined my dad to own the family business and everything. And one thing she would always advise me is to always have my own money. She would always tell me to the time, don't don't ever be idle. And I think it was important for her to drill that into my head because of the kind of society that we come from. And I think somebody in the chat said something along the lines of women saying that they'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than cry, I guess, in a Toyota or something like that. Why are we crying in the first place? I don't take let me see. When we say mistreatment, I would assume we're talking about like verbal and physical, abuse. I don't take either of those lightly. I even feel like if a man raises his voice at me, it's it's time to pack up, because if you raise your voice, you can raise your finger, and if you raise your finger, you can hit me, and that's when it gets really ugly. And I personally think a man who puts his hands on you is actually trying to unalive you. Like, that's what I genuinely believe. So I don't think any amount of money would convince me personally to stay for any kind of mistreatment. And also because I grew up in a loving family. Like, I grew up where my dad provided. My dad has 5 girls. It's not easy to raise girls. When we're young, they would make sure we did our hairs for Christmas. We used to call it Christmas hair because we traveled to the village and everything. Going back to school, growing up, just the maintenance and upkeep of having lots of girls. So I didn't like that growing up. So money is not my problem. If there's no money, I will go make some money, but I'm not gonna stay with anybody who maltreats me. I think that's all I have to say for now. I can circle back much later. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Chilotam, I appreciate you. Let me go over here to Miss Kalandra.
Hey Trigger, how are you?
Hey.
In response to the prompt, I think dating coaches are scammers because I just never really got with that idea, because I kind of feel like love comes naturally, and I feel like paying somebody to help you find a man, I mean, that might get you a date, but I think dating coaches are scammers. Yeah, I think dating coaches are scammers. Side chicks accepting money for your self worth. I definitely agree with that. Like, being a man's side chick and then him paying you and stuff, and then you having this baby, and then him not taking care of the baby. Yeah, that's just not it. Dating guru exposed for taunting a married man. When you say she was taunting, what was she doing?
She left her a voice note and told her that she could, suck her husband, off whenever she wanted. And, like when he's out places with her and he may see her in public, he messages her later. She can basically have him whenever she wants. Just talking real reckless and out of pocket,
Oh
man.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. I definitely think that's dangerous rhetoric to teach women to marry for money, because I feel like most guys with their money are Charles McCarter, and I know I hate Tyler Perry, but Diary of a Mad Black Woman was true. When he was out there dogging my homegirl Helen and he was going to cheat on her that night, he literally said, when you start paying some of these bills, you can question me about what I'm doing. So I think most men with money are very controlling. And so I definitely don't think women should just date a guy because he has money and then you're getting mistreated. I just don't think that's worth it. I definitely think it's a fantasy to be with a millionaire, because most people are not, and I definitely think people telling them that is very crazy to me, because more often than not, most people are not millionaires. Yeah, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I hate Tyler Perry to this day, but I definitely think that movie probably hit a nail, because he really said that. So when he said, when you start paying some of these bills, you can question me about what I'm doing, and said that point. And that's why I say I don't think women should ever be comfortable with just letting a man take care of them and things. It's because most men with money are very controlling. He's gonna want to control everything. He's gonna want to control how you move. And I just think that's dangerous rhetoric to tell women, because that's gonna lead to financial abuse and sometimes DV violence. But I definitely think it's a fantasy for you to have a rich millionaire, because like I said, most guys definitely are not millionaires. Most people are not millionaires. And I'm with Supervillain. I think we should start teaching girls how to become millionaires themselves instead of you teaching them how to get one. Because like you said, Triggered, that time Steve Harvey said he was introducing people like Keke Palmer to millionaires. And then you're a millionaire and your baby daddy is probably not even a thousandaire.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I mean, I don't know, because somebody in the comments has said, so what, you don't think black women can find a millionaire, be a millionaire, whatever, something like that. It's like, I don't say it out of like not wanting black women to live the most comfortable or luxurious as possible. Like, I would love for every black woman to live in the lap of luxury. I honestly would. I love to see black women, going out and doing things that they enjoy, and having a great time. That's not what I'm saying. I just feel like, for there to be women that say, like I said, all you have to do is just get in the gym and get a weave all the way down your back and put on these like fake lashes and concealer underneath your eyes, and then press in this foundation, you know what I'm saying, and get your eyebrows done and your nails and toes done, then and look elegant, so to speak. Now all of a sudden you're gonna be just loved and doted on by these men. I just feel like that's just such a male-centered way of viewing things, because you're feeling like you don't even have any worth or value unless men are looking at you and think that you look some type of way. And in 2025, I just feel like that's crazy. And I also think that black women literally going up on other black women's platforms and inviting those women to judge them and critique them, to talk about their hair and makeup and clothing, and them to tell them what they should be doing when these women don't even have what these women want. I can't even tell you how crazy that is. And it's like, when I say how crazy it is, it's like people get mad at me. And I don't even understand why, because logically speaking, it's crazy. But let me go over here to Supervillain. Supervillain has something to say. Go ahead, sis.
Sorry, that mute button, I swear, it's my arch nemesis. Okay, I did want to just answer the rest of the prompts. I'm gonna go to number one. And I just think, again, women doing what they want to make them feel better, as long as it's not harmful to other women and children, fine by me. But I think getting a life coach would be better than getting a dating coach. I think women should want to be the best version of themselves for themselves, and likely when you're in that journey, you'll probably find someone who aligns with you. I also want to say, just doing better for the guys of getting married. To me, the math doesn't work out, because Most often in marriages, men are not doing that. And a lot of the times, men are not marrying for the love of their life. So to do all these things, and you're likely going to get paired with a man who just thought it was convenient to get married, is unfair. That's why I said a life coach would be better, because you are improving yourself. You're on a journey of fulfillment, and whether you get married or not, which is a lot of women's goal, I'm not going to take that away from them. At least you're doing something with self improvement. Now, you may find someone along the way that aligns with you, likely, but most, I'm going to just say, and I'm not someone who's married, but just by statistics and hearing people's stories and seeing things online and life experience, a lot of men are not marrying the true love of their lives, or marrying because they want to be great husbands. They're doing it for the convenience of having a wife. So you did all this for what? To be somebody's convenient option? I don't know. That's why it's just, I don't know. I don't push for women to improve themselves for marriage. I push it for them to be better for themselves, because whether they get it or not, they're still going to be the best version of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you made for sure. Um, I don't think that you can ever go wrong trying to improve yourself for you, cause that's always going to be the best move to make. Calandra, you had something to say? Response to
Even make
sis?
one point. That woman that got on this app, now I know she's a white woman, a white T woman, but all these women that were getting on these apps and showing what their husbands gave them for lunch, and your husband gave you dog food, and you're out here defending that. I feel like that right there showed me that people really be out here dating, married to people that really can't stand them. But yeah, that was it.
I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, I see it all the time, and it's scary to me because, boy, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I asked you to bring me something to eat and you brought me that, like you know what? That's the last time you gonna see me. Oh, I was just no. We are done. Like for real, for real. I don't think that I could. I'm not even gonna say I don't think. I know we're done. You're cooked. We're over. You gotta go. You gotta get out. I don't care where you go, but you're going to a hotel or you gonna stay with your friend. But you not staying in my place at all, playing in my face like that. Like what are we doing? It's not hard to go DoorDash me some food. You can have a pizza spot deliver something to me. You can get the DoorDash. You can get Chinese food delivered. Like, but you choose to play in my face like that. And why the am I at work? Doggone it. And I'm at work working and you can't bring me the stuff? Like what? Like some of the things that women be dealing with and accept, I just feel like what's the purpose of having a man or having a boyfriend or having a fiance or having a husband if they don't respect you, like you nothing? You could be hungry and they just leave you for dead. Like what? And then it's every time somebody these girls expose they man for like not caring about them at all, and everybody is rightfully horrified, then they always want to come back and get online and defend them. Oh, it wasn't really like that. I know that you guys saw me when I came out in the bathing suit and he said ew and he called me a fat whale, but no, he was just playing with me. That's just the way we play. I don't know why you guys are so offended by that. He didn't really mean that. What? Like I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see. Oh, T Scorpio. Hey, how you doing, sis? Did you have anything to say?
Hey, what's going on? I'm not surprised you picked up this story, not for nothing. I'm not surprised. When I came across this on my For You page, I thought to myself, like, another one bite the dust. Another one bite the dust. Every time there's a dating coach or whatever coach, these life coaches, they always get exposed for being phonies, like all the time. It just never fails. So, the stuff that she pushes is not just hypergamy. She pushes like pick me content if you really want to go there. Because I do like I said, she comes on my For You page all the time, and it's a few times I sit back and listen to her video, and a lot is giving off pick me. and I'm in male centered, and I'm not feeling that. I'm into hypergamy, but I'm definitely not into male centered, because if anyone's going to be centered, it's going to be me. Absolutely not. I will never center a man. If anybody got to be centered, is the woman. That's just my biased opinion. That's one. That's number one. Number two, side chicks accepting money for their worth. Listen, I got different take on that with the side chicks part. Any husband I feel that's gonna step out of his marriage, honestly speaking, I wish a gold digger on him. I be hoping for the meanest, the most high riding, the most selfish, the most greediest gold digger on them. I really do. Because that's what you get for cheating. I don't hope nothing good on a man that wants to cheat, honestly speaking. I hope she take all his money, mess up his credit so damn bad that he gotta sleep in his car. And then after you blackmail him, tell his wife. Honestly speaking, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I wish all the bad things on a man that's cheating on his wife. So I'm not really mad at that. A man wanna be trifling, take his money, blackmail him, say, listen, if you don't want me to tell your wife, give me about $5,000, and still drop an anonymous letter through the mail. You know, any clues? Number three, dating guru. Oh yeah, she was a side chick. Yeah, that's like I said, there's no big surprise with her. So like I said, she's male centered, and usually pick me. Well, male centered women are usually side chicks. That's no surprise. Um, Number four, when a woman advise you to take, I would never, ever, 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 ever advise no woman to take bad treatment from no man just for money. That's like low vibration. That's very like cheap. She said just 5,000. Anyways, um, so no, absolutely not. And I always like to encourage women to always you get with the man, you entertain the man that treats you the best. The best of the best of the best. He makes you feel good. He and not just he makes you feel good like in a way like he gives you words of affirmation. He also through treatment. He also treats you good. And like I already said earlier, like only if he centers you, he makes you like the center of his world. He makes you his number one priority. Like actually, it gives him pleasure to see you happy. Absolutely, absolutely. I encourage that. Number five, black women in the fantasy of a rich millionaire. Uh, yeah, not millionaire, but like, hey, upper middle class and up is always good. But not every woman is out here, looking at money and stuff like that. Me personally, I know my worth. I know I will never ever get. My husband is not broke, and I said to myself, I know my worth. I know my wealth as a worth as a woman. I know I'm the divine feminine, and I know I'm worth a man's house. Yeah, I'm worth a man's car. I'm worth his life savings. I'm worth his 401k. I'm worth his life. So pretty much, yeah, that's all.
All right, all right, all right. I got you, T. Uh, I, I think it was Gabrielle was next.
Mean, I definitely agree with the ladies on the panel. I really do think that, grifting is a huge, huge part of like what these dating and hypergamy coaches are doing. I mean, not all of them, but definitely Sadia Khan. I mean, she was charging people, I think like 8,000 British pounds, which is like roughly on par with the US dollar, like for I think like an hour or two of coaching. So I mean, it wasn't even just like, because I know Shira Seven will just like get on YouTube and like have these like 4 hour lives. You can watch her stuff for free, but like no, Sadia Khan was actually charging, like I said, thousands upon thousands of dollars and pounds. And she was talking about being high value and all this stuff, but yet she was doing the exact opposite of what she preached. She wasn't rejecting attention. And she was so far gone that, she was like telling a married woman, oh, I could like give your husband like fellatio, like on your birthday, on his wedding day. Like that is demented. I mean, like that is beyond insane. But honestly, Sadia Khan, like I think that she has also made some comments like either like supporting or like trying to like whitewash child marriage. And then she is also, I think she's like based in Dubai. And like honestly, those two things alone, like kind of when I learned that about her, that kind of like always gave me pause about her, like, I mean, And then there have also been like, reports of her. I think she also sat down and had a conversation with like Andrew Tate or what have you. So it's like, I mean, she is definitely up there with like the grifters and like the people who are like really really in this for the money. Chilotamsik, can you expound on that? Which part? I can definitely.
Yeah, the child marriage part.
Yeah, so okay, so there's like a video. It's like about her. It's about like 20 to 30 seconds long, but basically she was saying something to the effect of that, oh, it's not that bad for like 15 and 16-year-old girls to get married. But she's like from Dubai, which like if you know about the UAE, it's like they're not exactly known for human rights and definitely not women's rights. But yeah, there have definitely been like a lot of red flags about Sadia Khan. Like I said, I don't follow her like closely or what have you, but I have just seen some stuff about her online and like seen that video about her online, that video where she was defending child marriage. I definitely seen people saying that she like sat down and had a conversation with Andrew Tate. So it doesn't shock me that this woman is so male centered. Like she was in that woman's, voice notes. Like she actually, it's like the way she was talking, she actually seemed to think that she was doing something by saying, oh, I could do what to him on your wedding day, on your birthday. And then she was like, oh, there was a situation where he was with you and then he called me. It's like, why are you proud of that? What are you doing? Like, that's not that's not a flex. That's not something to be boasting about. So, I mean, yeah, it really was like Andrew Tate. So yeah, this is very much like on brand for her. I mean, I really do think a lot of these other like dating and hypergamy coaches, like I said, not all of them, but you really do have to have hyper discernment and just like pay attention to what these people are saying. If they're charging, like thousands of dollars or thousands of pounds, what depending on the country you're in, just be mindful of that. Also there have been reports that Sadia Khan, like she claims to be a psychologist, but there are people who have dug into her and found that she does not actually have a degree that lets her, practice clinical psychology. So there are a lot of things about this woman where it's like it really should give you pause. Like the deeper you dig, the worse it gets. But that's just what I think. I really do think that, the number two, side chicks accepting money for your self-worth, I really do think that's a bad idea. I mean, we're living in a time where we as women, we can make our own money. We don't have to like debase ourselves or be some guy's side piece just to have money, just to take a trip, just to like get a house or do whatever it is you want to do. And yeah, I mean, but as far as Sadia Khan goes, there's just like I mentioned earlier, there's just like so much stuff about her where it's like red flag after red flag after red flag. And I definitely, don't think that, she is someone who should be listened to. I think you need discernment with dating coaches in general, and then there are just some where you should just completely disregard them. But I will land my plane there for now.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. Okay, so Gabrielle just said that this lady, Sadia Khan, was charging like $8,000 roughly USD. She said the pounds, but she said it's pretty on par. So we gonna go with $8,000 USD for 1 hour of dating coaches. So I just wanted all the ladies to know here this in the chat. I know that I have curated a space for Black women. I love y'all, but now I am changing up my whole script here. Now I'm going to the dating coach guru lane, and then I'm charging 8K per hour. I promise you, I'm gonna tell every Black woman, look, I got about 30,000 men in my upstairs attic that are 6'5". I got some light skins, I got some brown skins, I got some dark skins. They all got abs, they all got pecs, they all got degrees. They're all very intelligent. They all got no less than $10 million in the bank. And they're very good men. They don't cheat. They don't have no diseases. They don't have any children. They never been married. They're very nice men. They won't put their hands on you. They just gonna go to work and come home and cater to you. And that's what I'm about to just be selling Black women all day. Cause my God, $8,000 for an hour? I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing the wrong thing, man. That's it. That's it. Okay, I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna hold you. Shorty get her points. Can't get mad at that. I mean, it came with the expense of naive people, but I don't know. I don't know. You give me $8,000 an hour just to talk to you. Hmm.
Oh my goodness, like for real, like this is what I'm saying. And then like people say that I be pocket watching, right? This is how I felt when that one lady that came on the live back when we had all that drama with public offender and controversial Shannon, when they said that public offender was making $20,000 a month. I was like, oh my gosh, just from lying and pandering to black women, I was like, don't nobody be giving me no bread like that. I said, I'm doing the wrong thing, man. Cause what I got going on is lead me down the road of brokey. I'm just playing, y'all, but I'm serious though. I am joking, but I am serious too, because my goodness. But I know Supervillain has something to say. Go ahead, Supervillain.
First of all, that I think you should do that for one day. Just you and your husband be on there giving dating advice. Girl, that one day, you never know. Listen, I'm for it. Damn, I was laughing. I don't forgot what I wanted to. Oh, I did remember now. Was it now the lady? Was she the one caught saying, "I'll do something to your husband" or whatever? This, that, and the third. The dating coach
Yep.
was okay, and that was a Freudian, what I call a Freudian slip, because the woman she was talking to was already married, so she wasn't looking for a husband. But right then and there, she displayed that even with the husband, you still got to be on your P's and Q's, because there's women out there like her. She was giving up herself, that will be going after a man, or that these men, you can still be married and these men will cheat on you. This is why I say twisting yourself in a pretzel, paying $8,000, and you get the man and you're still cheated on or being abused, it makes no sense. Again, I'm going to push for upgrading yourself, improving your life for your life, because no matter how it ends, whether you get the man or not, you're still going to be a better person. I do want to acknowledge, though, like I said earlier before, it's 2025, and I acknowledge that not every woman is getting married for love. A lot of women are getting married for the financial security. But to me, like I said, with my daughter, I'm trying to build that nest egg. I'm doing it before I even figure out my retirement, because I'll be damned if my daughter's taking abuse for love or for money. That's just not going to be an option for her. I yield.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, Supervillain. I definitely commend you on that and putting your daughter first and stuff like that. Because you already know there are a lot of women that do not. There are a lot of women that put men above their kids and everything else, and don't be thinking nothing about them. And even mothers that like purposely sabotage their daughters, in order to alter their life courses. Because I know that happened to me. Like I remember, like when I was a senior in high school, I got a full ride scholarship to any Ivy League college of my choice. All my parents had to do was sign off on it. They refused to sign off on the paperwork because they said, once again, y'all keep in mind that I was raised in a cult. They were under the impression that the world was going to already be ended, by the time I was like 25. So it was like purposeless for me to go to school or go to college or do anything. And I remember when the teachers were talking to my parents about it, they were like, hey, like, that this is like a completely free ride for her. You want to reject this? This is just like free money, on the table. And they rejected it on my behalf because I was still 17. And that changed the trajectory of my life. I would feel it, and not that it changed it, but it definitely put me behind others. So like other girls that like went straight from high school to college, and like women, like it's a girl that I was in this clique when I was in high school. It was like me and three other black girls, and they were able to get like their doctorates now, and I felt like I was behind on all of that because it took me years after I was able to break away from my parents in a cult for me to even go to school and do what I needed to do and stuff. And even with that, like my mom, like she would like compete with me. She gave me bad advice on a lot of things, bad advice on like financial advice, credit, things to do with myself that kind of like really altered my future, to be honest with you. And I know that she did it on purpose, just by things that she said, like once we ended up really falling out. So I would just say that like it's really a blessing when people do have mothers that do put their children first. Cause I know my I have two daughters. I have a really little one in elementary and then an older one. And I always tell my older daughter, like, I try to give her the game and advice and everything, or what to do, when she becomes like an adult and moves to this world. Like, I really be trying to give her real advice. And I really tell her, like, I'm really trying to set you up for like, so that you can be successful. I would never hate on you and be like, oh my gosh, like you're younger than me. You're young and youthful and pretty and you're this and that. She looked like me, but everybody says that she's very pretty. I'd be like, I would be a horrible individual to just hate on my own daughter and set her up for failure. And I just said that I was going to break the cycle, and so many things that happened to me, I was not going to pass it down to my child. So I always respect specifically mothers or girl moms, I would say, that have daughters. Especially if they only have daughters and they really put those daughters first and they really pour into those daughters and really help them, because it's just like there are people that parents did not help, and I know my parents did not help, and they actively destroyed a lot of my life and set me behind like actually years. And sometimes I would like get bitter about it and stuff like that. But all I could do was just move forward. But anyway, all I'm saying is, I super villain when she was saying all that. I would just felt so good inside to just hear another woman say that what they're doing for their daughter. I think that's a beautiful thing. Somebody else wanted to say something. I didn't see
Craig,
that.
Craig, I just want to say I'm so sorry that was your experience, and you deserve better. And what you're doing now, you're touching someone's daughter when you do these lives. I just want to let you know. So even if you didn't get it, you're paying it forward, because you are definitely aspiring the young women that I know that are listening. So I just want to let you know that.
Thank you so much, super villain. I really appreciate it. Was anybody else? Because I know I was bumping my gums. Was anybody else trying to talk right now?
Yeah, I wanted to go real quick.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've definitely learned, at least from these lives, because I've been listening to you religiously for like a year, but that's like exclusively on YouTube. Before I moved to TikTok, I only even became active on TikTok because of you. And I want to have daughters because I have four sisters. I grew up around girls, and I really feel like um there's nothing better than having best friends and your siblings, and I want that for my children as well. So I just wanted to give you your flowers, especially you and supervillain, like talking about these things, because sometimes you just, as a young person thinking about wanting kids, there are some dimensions of having children that you don't necessarily think about until you speak to people who actually have children. So yeah, I wanted to say that. And then I hate to drag us back, but I think it was Calandra that said something about a man giving his girlfriend or his wife dog food, which is really insane to me. I feel like people do not set higher standards for men, and that's why for me, because I have just one brother, I try to be very strict with him, because I refused to be associated with somebody who will go outside and request, labor from women when they can just do simple things. And even like when it comes to domestic stuff, like if a man is not domestic, that's a huge turn off for me. If you don't know how to, clean the house, lay the bed, I can't trust you to be able to do that. If we're going to get married and have children, I can't trust you to take care of the kids if you can't do that for yourself. So I feel like things like that, they seem so little. Like I dropped in the chat, I saw a tweet from a girl that said that she broke up with her boyfriend because he didn't buy her painkillers when she was having cramps, right? Like period cramps. I have really, really painful periods. Like the pain will go on for days. So I understand what it means to, kind of drag yourself out of bed and go and get painkillers by yourself. That's a really wicked person. And in the grand scheme of things, it looks like it's a small issue. But if someone who claims to love you sees you in pain and, cannot help you, then what's the guarantee that if you get married to him, he's going to stay or stick by your side, for better or for worse? And I think it even also ties to the fact that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen several studies stating the fact that, when women are terminally ill, they are more likely to be abandoned by their husbands, as opposed to when men are terminally ill, the women usually stick around for that. So, those tiny, I guess, red flags, stuff I always look out for in men, regardless of how rich or how wealthy they are, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to teach a human being, a grown man, how to have manners. I'll wrap up my points with this. I used to work in HR, like in human resources, before I switched to writing. And my manager back then would always tell me that it's easier for you to train somebody to learn a technical skill. Like, you can always hire somebody who doesn't have any experience and they can, be great at the job. But it's very difficult to hire somebody with a bad attitude and, try to change their attitude. And I'm not saying marriage is like a hiring kind of thing. I know it's obviously different, but I just wanted to use that example to drive my point home. Thank you.
All right, no problem, Chilotam. Let me go up here to Miss Gabrielle. She has something to say.
Yeah, thanks, Triggered. I actually just want to speak about number 5 a little bit, because I think you made some amazing points on that. I think Supervillain did too. But I just want to say that I think when it comes to that, I think that if someone is like watching dating coaches and thinking that by following this person or what have you, I'm going to, like get with a millionaire, I think doing that probably ironically guarantees that you will not, because I mean, I'm trying to think of what to put. So like, most people, and there are like actually studies that show this, that most people marry people who are like somewhat on their level, like socially, like financially, like a similar lifestyle. Like that is usually how it goes. And so that's why I think that if you are living your life in a way where you are doing things and you are growing, then you will probably, like as Supervillain was saying, like organically attract someone who's like aligned with you or on your level, whether that's someone who's, upper middle class, and it could be a millionaire, or it could be someone who's, like higher up on the socioeconomic status. But I don't think that, listening to a dating coach who says, oh, just get your nails done, just get your hair done, like just, go on the like rich side of town, I don't think that you are going to get the outcome that you want. Because even if you were in a situation where you did somehow cross paths with this like high net worth man, what are you guys going to talk about? Like, even if he does want to take you out on a date, what is like the basis of your conversation going to be? Like there are really all of these things that go into dating someone. Just in my opinion, it can't just be get your nails done, like ingratiate yourself where you think they're going to be. I really do think when it comes to dating, if you are living your life in a way that is aligned with you, that, is true to you and that you're excited about, you have a life that you're happy to wake up to every day, I think your odds of, increasing someone who, fits with that, vibes with that, and who, just like as Supervillain was saying, aligns with you, I think that it's much, you have a better chance of like finding what you're looking for, whether it is a quote unquote rich millionaire or not. But I do think these like dating coaches that you were mentioning, Triggered, who say, oh, if you buy my course to, like buy my, what is it, like my course or my dating, what have you, my guidebook or whatever, and if you listen to this, you're going to get a million. I mean, I really, like, there's a saying, it says that fools and their money are easily parted. And I really think that this ties into that, because it's like, you're like, the math is just not mathing, like, that's why I said you do need discernment when you are listening to these, dating coaches and, people like that. Because like I said, I do listen to Shira 7. I don't agree with everything Shira says, but there are certain things where, I think she does, make sense and make some good points. But at the same time, I'm not going to, go out and do every single thing that she's advising. So that's why I said I do think discernment is necessary. But I do also, I know my time is like down to a minute, so I promise I'm going to wrap up within a minute. But I just do think a lot of people who listen to dating coaches or people like Shira 7 or whatever, I think a lot of them do not have discernment, and so they don't know. Yeah, exactly. T Scorpio, eat the meat and spit out the bones. A lot of people listening to dating coaches like Shira 7, they don't know how to do that. Like, they don't know how to take what works for them, what to put, what to disregard, and so they listen to these dating coaches and try to do every single thing they say to the letter. and then when it goes wrong, they're surprised, just like that Isis Morales lady who was calling herself the trophy, either the trophy wife or the trophy princess or whatever. Like
Yeah,
that
trophy
lady
wife.
did not. Yeah, the trophy wife. Yeah, exactly. That ISIS lady, she did not have discernment. Like she did it, and then she tried to blame it on Shira. But it's like, you can't really blame Shira. It's like if you are listening to people, regardless of who you're listening to, you're responsible for your actions. You know. So that's just what I think. I really do think discernment discernment and living your life for you. Discernment and living your life for you and not basing your life around trying to get some rich man. I really do think that is what, will protect you in the long run. So I'll land there for now.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. Let me go down here to Miss T Scorpio.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny about these dating coaches and stuff trying to help women be hypergamous and stuff, and I'm looking at just me like I didn't have to listen to any of these women or any of these men. That's the funny part. It's really not that difficult. I mean, I really gotta listen to the women. I usually don't listen to the women, but I think I'm gonna start listening to the women in the audience, like how they like why what does the coaches do for you? Like, do they help you manifest that energy? Does it make you tap into who you really are? Do you really need words of encouragement? I can't speak from that perspective because, like me personally, I didn't need no coach. If you really want to go there, like women like Sheer Seven, like that have that type of mentality, in my opinion, that's something that I've always felt like that was natural as women. Like it's natural for us to be hypergamous. It's natural for us to know how to, I don't know, like know how to get a man like that and actually know spot a good one too. I mean, because I'm big on women intuition. I'm big on that kind of stuff. So when I hear women like y'all need coaches, y'all really do. Like I never really quite understand that. I know how it sounds like I sound like I'm confusing myself or something, because I sincerely don't understand why do women, and specifically women, need dating coaches. Like you don't know what a good character is, it like a good man is. Maybe that is the case. Maybe a lot of these women don't know what a good character is in men. I mean, like I said, like it's just like when I was listening to Gabrielle, it is have a lot to do with your social circle. If you are a woman, you're successful and you're educated, you're going to go to the men that's in closest proximity to you, and it's usually the men that's on your level or higher. Like I said, when I met my husband at my career. Like I got access to six-figure men. That really was not hard to find them, in my opinion. You go to these events, you go to Thanksgiving gatherings and all these other stuff, these family functions and stuff like that. You're going to find these men, and these men bring friends, they bring family members, and they're just as successful as them, or even more successful. Like I said, is your social circle. It's really easy, in my opinion. And it's not just finding these guys. I guess like is how you charm them, and you also got to be a smart woman yourself in order to hang in a conversation with them, because just like what Gabrielle said, what are y'all going to talk about? You got to be able to have a stimulating conversation. And I guess that's where maybe a lot of those women don't quite understand. Maybe y'all can help me out with the women in the audience that listen to them, because that's a part of psychology that I don't quite get. And maybe I'm gonna take the time out to actually study those women, because like I said, I'm here giving legal advice. Nobody giving me 8 racks. Like I'm giving out. Listen, I'm giving out legal gold. I'm telling women, get an infidelity clause. And the women, at least they come on my live, they argue with me more than anything. So, do y'all really need help? Do y'all really want help and advice? Like, it's crazy.
I think they want help and advice, but in a way that doesn't require them to do much of anything other than fantasize. That's what I really think. I don't think any type of practical advice is really wanted for probably the majority of the women that you would be talking to, unfortunately. But let me go over here to Kalandra. Kalandra, you have something to say, sis?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point. I definitely think dating coaches are scammers because I feel like they definitely. I don't know. I wouldn't know if I would say the hate of black women or maybe anti-black rhetoric, but I definitely think they use that to like go viral and make people kind of watch them because I hate this man so much. But the first time I ever saw a Kevin Samuel video, he was asking this woman what would she rate herself, and I think she said a 10, and he tried to humble her. And it was women in the comment like, who does she think she is? Who does she think she is? And I was just like, y'all really need help. And I definitely think they use anti-black propaganda. But I definitely think women need to like question their values, question their systems. Because like I said in the comments, it was this video. I don't know if people like saw this. I know Trigger said she saw, but they were asking these. I don't know if people like saw this. I know Trigger said she saw, but they were asking these men questions about their kids. And like this one guy, he asked him how old his son was, when was their birthday, like things that you would think a parent would know. Like get self love, have standards. Because I feel like I just said about that YSL lawyer with that getting pregnant by that felon, like, girl, how do you as a lawyer let a felon ruin your whole life? Like, and I'm not saying kids ruin your life, but what kind of conversations was being had to the point that you said someone who's on trial needs to be your child's father? Like, I just don't understand that. And for me, I just feel like women definitely need to learn how to self-love. And they need to understand that if you never get married, that's not the worst thing. Unaliving broke, that could be the worst thing. But if you're never married, like that's cool. Like when you leave by yourself. And that's what I said, like being Dama does, and the fact that like women be out here paying $8,000. Like, so if you date this guy and y'all break up, like to be that desperate for a man, I definitely think like your brain needs to be studied because I think that's just a different level of pick meism to me, like letting people judge you and stuff, rate you. And then I feel like I said, I think if anything it's anti-black because I feel like a lot of them go on European beauty standards and things because you telling black women all this stuff about their hair, their body type. And then most of the time, some of these guys don't even like black women. I just think that's dangerous rhetoric. And I don't think they care about these women. I think they doing that to go viral. Because like I said, anti-blackness sell. But I just want to say, Trigger, I definitely appreciate you. You definitely saved me out my pick-me ways. I'm 25, finna be 26. And when I started watching your lives, I was a pick-me. I definitely was one of those people that thought, like, women be jealous of me because they baby daddies want me. I was definitely like young-minded and like very ignorant when it came to a man. But I just want to say, like, your lives definitely helped me. Like, it definitely helped me see life better. So you definitely are doing the work.
Thank you so much for that, Kalandra. Thank you, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me, y'all, because all I ever wanted was for a young girl, you know what I'm saying, not to go through what I did. Cause I know my mom had me feeling like I couldn't even do anything by myself. Like I didn't even cook. I didn't even make a single meal until I was like maybe 20 years old. That's how inept and incapable she had me thinking that I wasn't capable of doing anything. Like she controlled every avenue of my life, like uh everything. I mean, anything that you can think about that you handle yourself as a grown woman, my mother handled it all. um and even when I would like leave or go places or drive places, I would get like crippling anxiety, like when I would be far away from my home. Because I would feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not around my parents. What am I going to do? how am I gonna, like, it was like actually like so crippling, like such an impending sense of like dread and doom, like I mean like a severe, anyway, it doesn't, I'm just saying, like I do appreciate that because I really do hope that I can stop any other young girls from being that are in the stage of life that I was at that time to make better decisions and not be like that. That's everything that I would hope and dream for. Like I'm hoping that I'm doing it with my daughters. They say that I am, and I hope that I am, you know. Yeah. But let me go over here to Supervillain because Supervillain has some stuff to say. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I got a lot to say. I want to say first that it's crazy how we all just come from different walks of life and end up in the same place because triggered. I am, at least in my father's house, the oldest girl. And let me tell you something. Cook, I was kicking at 6, 7 years old. I'm talking about I was a freaking mule in my home. And that's why with my daughter, I don't use nothing but the grill or the air fryer. No pots, paper plates, plastic forks and spoons all the time. I don't even have freaking company. That's how much I hate washing dishes, and I don't make my daughter a meal. So it's just amazing how like you can, you know what I mean, different walks of life. When you said you didn't cook till 20, I'm like, yeah, I was doing laundry at cooking, cleaning, wash at 7 freaking years old. So that's like just truly amazing, different walks of life. I'm gonna say this. There was a lot of things said. T, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and we know this. Black women are in some very high positions in life. They have like I think somebody put in the chat, that lawyer. She goes in and out of the courthouse and passes by probably a million men lawyers, attorneys, legal assistants, psychologists. I mean the bailiff. I take the court reporter. The damn court reporter. And she ended up with a felon. I will not ever understand again the black woman.
Oh, what attorney is this?
Girl, this beautiful. And she's dropped that gorgeous, very talented ATL attorney. I forgot what the guy's name is, defending in a RICO case. Girl, you know she ended up getting pregnant by him. And this is what I mean about black.
Oh,
It don't even be black women don't have a hard time fighting successful men. Again, she's a lawyer. She is in front of judges, lawyers, psychologists. Even I would have took the court reporter, but she ended up with the felon. That is the black woman, successful black woman to felon pipeline needs to be studied. They can't even say they're not in proximity, even in college, around so many men who are going to be successful and network, and they end up dating uneducated men or men who are not successful. So it's not even I can never even take a proximity excuse because, to be completely honest, Trig, you know that's what upsets me. That pipeline to me is what I want to study. It is absolutely abysmal to me, the obsession we have with felons, and we need to stop. I'm gonna stop there because I done got a little hot and triggered. I'm gonna spin the block.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, super villain. I'm gonna tell you, I feel the same way. Like, and the thing about it is, not saying that we want to just make this all about looks, but he don't even look like nothing. He looks like a criminal. He looks like a pookie. He looks like an uneducated, felonious Negro. That is not a man that she's going to be with long term at all. Like the only person that don't know it is her. Oh, but Kalandra has something to say. Go ahead, Kalandra.
Want to say I agree with Swimmer. I definitely think we should do a study on that because Sky Jackson, that girl baby daddy, is a real criminal. Like he is a real criminal. Like how do y'all meet these men? You're successful. You made it. What is a criminal telling you that's making you be like, yeah? And then he had put his hands on her. Like that pipeline has to be studied.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I mean, I think that pick-meism, you know what I'm saying, and male centeredness, I don't think that it has any type of like financial standing, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that it discriminates. I think you could be like poor, you could be okay doing financially, you could be middle class, you could be rich. But if you're that type of black woman, you're going to be that way. And I do think that, unfortunately, a lot of black women are that way because we have been, regardless of socioeconomic status, we have been brainwashed to just value the presence of a black man or man above anything else. And it doesn't even matter as long as he's there, because I definitely don't see why Sky Jackson would ever entertain that albino looking Pookie. Like, I don't know. Or even Kiki Palmer, you know what I'm saying? And
Can I
even
give
with,
an example real quick? Because
oh,
it's not even poor. Like, let's look at Phaedra. Like her man,
yeah.
he committed a white collar crime. It's not like he was, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He did high, what you call high value man, white collar crime. It's the felon part is the
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I feel you.
part.
With her, y'all, wasn't he already like kind of on probation when she got pregnant? They say he committed crimes before he went to jail for that other stuff.
He
Like
was
he,
laundering money, so it's not like he was doing like some low life like violent crime and stuff like that. He was doing some type of money laundering. He had money, so this is what I mean. It be the poor ones, the rich ones, as long as they are felon. I don't, yeah, I don't get it.
But you know what, y'all? Y'all talking about the felons, which I definitely agree. And I think that, and also, like the black men that don't seem to like really care. Or they use the black woman as like a rehab center, like think like Megan Good. I think that those two different dynamics of black women that choose black men, like you guys were saying, the felons, or even the black men that they know they're gonna have to like rehab up, and that these black men, if they were at their top of their game or they were at their peak, like they would never, you know what I'm saying, entertain and look for a black woman. I think Megan Good is the perfect example. Like, I've talked to so many people that know Jonathan Majors, and they have said that Jonathan Majors never messed with black women. He never did. He only liked white women. And I find that to be crazy that now that this Negro is in trouble, he wants to marry a black woman. I think that that is very, very intentional. The fact that she got this man's name, Johnny's girl or whatever, tattooed on her, foolishness, and things will end badly. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hate or anything, but I'm just saying I think anybody that has any type of brains, can see where this is going. You know what I'm saying? But I'll just say, yeah, Jonathan Majors never liked black women. And I wish that, and I know that sometimes black women will be like, well, what about Megan Good is beautiful? Megan Good's body is tea. That doesn't matter. Black men that like white women, the whiteness is the beauty to those men. So a white woman is always gonna look better in their eyes than even a top tier black woman that you would see and be like, oh my goodness, like she's gorgeous. Like, they're not looking at it in that way, because the beauty is not what you see. It the beauty is the color. Just like Supervillain says all the time, the proximity to whiteness or out and out white is the issue. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I don't know. I don't know. There are certain things that I see black women do that is very weird, and I don't know if it can be changed, y'all. But I know that all of you guys wonder and worry about it. Me too. I don't know, y'all. I really don't. Um, yeah. So I just sit there and look at it and just am flabbergasted. And I think what's even worse is that if you think you see black women that have like beauty, influence, wealth, power, and you see that they are deeply affected by the in my opinion, like the lowering of the self-esteem of the black woman, if those women are not exempt, then what do you think the average run-of-the-mill black woman or black girl is going through? I remember I saw this interview that Halle Berry had. Halle Berry said that she was like, I think she said she was either a teenager or she was in college. and this guy told her and another girl to come to his house, and he was going to choose between the two of them, like which one of them he liked better and which person he was going to choose. And they sat there and let him do it. And you know how beautiful Halle Berry is. So I don't know. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's see here.
As y'all was talking, it reminded me when Biggie Small's daughter sold her $2 million house to get her man out of jail. I was only able to find this clip. I remember the article. I was trying to find like real quick, but this only thing I can find so far because I was looking for image. Yes, she sold her father's house that it was worth $2 million to bond her baby father out of jail, because I don't think if y'all remember, he was in New York City, and this is how I know because I was not around that area, but because I'm in New York, I got that news that her baby daddy was driving with tinted windows, right? And according to New York City law, you cannot drive with tinted windows unless it's for a particular reason or you just passing through New York. But either way, is borderline illegal. So they pulled him over and questioned him about his tinted windows. Tinted windows. I don't know, for whatever reason, I can't remember right now. He drove. He just booked it while the cops were talking to him, and he ran over a civilian that was crossing the street. And one of them happened to be a 2-year-old child. But the child lived and everything. The mother was obviously in distress. Like, it was all over the news in New York City. So, of course, he went to jail. And his daughter, Biggie Small's daughters, put up $2 million, put her house up for his bond. Everything that Biggie Smalls, and I don't like Biggie Smalls. I'm gonna say this for everybody from New York, same place, Brooklyn. Do not like Biggie Smalls, but it's the idea that I said to myself, like, at least he left his daughter $2 million, $2 million house. That's beautiful. But she sold it for her man. Yep.
I certainly hope that he didn't run off on that bond, and she was able to recoup it back. Because if not, that's just absolute stupidity, man, for real. But I don't know. It's plenty of black women that do dumb things like that, y'all. I don't know. I don't know what we can do about any of this, y'all. Maybe y'all can tell me. I don't know.
It's a question. There's a scenario that I want to get y'all opinion on, if it's okay, Trick.
Absolutely.
Neo's first wife, and their situation. I don't know if everybody's familiar with it. How they were together. I think they have about 3 or 4 kids or whatever. And he said he didn't want to have any more kids, so instead of him getting the snip snip, he convinced her to get her tubes tied permanently. Then ended up, I think, leaving her a year later, and then went on to have like 4 or 5 more kids with 2 other baby mamas. Was she smart in doing that? Because technically, that was her husband. But look what he ended up doing, leaving her a year later. Now
Oh,
she
they were
can't have.
never married. They never got married. She was just like a
Oh,
long
okay.
time girlfriend.
Okay, because I thought they were married.
No,
Okay.
they never got married. She was just a long term girlfriend.
Okay, so I mean, I guess that definitely changed the dynamic, but
Yeah,
still.
he married the second one, the light skin.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, even with that dynamic, if you want to avoid kids, y'all make him get the snip snip because they be lying. I just feel like women taking the brunt is always not going to be the answer. The man has to make the bigger sacrifice because men can bounce back. It's the patriarchy, the way society is, men will bounce back. Their age doesn't make them worthless the way that they try to make older women worthless. The amount of kids that they have don't ever stop them from having more kids or meaningful relationships the way it does for baby mamas, quote unquote, or women who have children. So please let the sacrifice, especially in these relationships, be on the men, because when men have proximity to women, it is automatic in their favor, hands down. Unless they're with a low life degenerate woman, and often of the case most often that doesn't happen. So I just want to tell women, let him make the bigger sacrifice because it's always going to be a net positive for them to have proximity to women.
Yeah, I think Neo is a scumbag, and I think he's been a scumbag for a long time. A big, wide, mega mind shaped head having scumbag as well. I don't understand, what any of these women that he's in this poly relationship see in him. I have no idea. I mean, he said that he doesn't really pay bills. So he said on a radio interview that he doesn't want a woman just sitting around the house and not doing anything. She needs to have a job and have her own. So he mentioned women working. So I don't know if they're even getting money like that. So my thing is, if you about to have me in here looking at your doggone Pluto shaped head, looking like a doggone giant russet baked potato, you better be paying me. And he said on, I forgot, he was on some radio show where he was talking about like not insinuating he don't pay bills or like really trick on women like that. So those women got to be like super desperate because Neo is very ugly. I'm sorry, I said it. Yes, I think so. I think he's very ugly, and I think his head is like so horribly like misshapen, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But that's another reason why I do believe that like you were mentioning the first baby mama, I forgot what her name is. She's the brown skinned one though that he didn't marry, but he dogged out. Then he married that second lady, the light skinned lady. He married her, and then she was really trying to go at the other. The first lady, which was the baby mama, and saying like, oh, I'm the wife, he married me, he didn't marry you. She was making jokes about their kids and everything, only to get done the exact same way. Like that was the quickest karma spin back and slap you in the face I have ever seen in my life. I know if I was the first baby mama, I would have just been like, yeah. So how's them apples? You know what I'm saying? You like them apples? Cause come on. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that Neo has been allegedly mentioned as being a friend to Diddy and being in a lot of the Diddy parties and engaging in G intercourse with Diddy and others. And I believe it. I remember when I first heard about that, I had looked up some pictures of Neo and Diddy together, and that stuff definitely looked like they were secret lovers or something like that. So he could also be conflicted, sexually, but I think that that's probably why he's in that like poly relationship with these girls that are like extremely freaky and like have no boundaries. Cause probably one of them is probably pegging him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I always, when I think about like men that have already a history or a reputation of possibly being G, and then they go and get with like extremely like sexual or promiscuous women, or they have like a very like freaky persona. I just normally just assume that, oh yes, there's pegging a foot. You're getting pegged. You're getting pegged. That's what I think when I see it. You know. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. I definitely think that. I think he's also getting pegged with the real thing. But I think when he wants to hide behind the fact that he's not G with these ladies, he probably just lets them do it. Did you have something to say, supervillain?
I was just gonna say, I agree. I feel like men who I respect more men who have sexual discipline and aren't with like a lot of women. I believe men who have access to a lot of women. There's this thing about lust that it's never satiated. So lust just gets worse and worse, and by worse I mean it becomes more degenerate, if you know what I mean. So like men who have all this access and they're already getting this easy access, they're looking for more and more deviant things to do. That's why you see Diddy end up in things like what he's doing. This is a man who had access to plenty of women, and because of that, vagina just got boring. So he had to do deviant stuff. That's why I do not. I'm sorry, and it's you can call it kink shaming. I do not trust freaky men at all. I don't, because lust is never satiated, and vagina just don't be enough for these freaky men. They be doing some weird stuff. Animals, apple pie.
Girl,
I don't know.
do you know that it was some dude, I forgot who it was. He did an interview on some YouTube channel, and he said he was cool with Bobby Valentino. And he said that's why Bobby Valentino started messing with T women, because he said that he already had all of the girls that he could have and that it was boring and that he wanted something different. And so that's why he started messing with like T women and stuff like that, because he would had already been so promiscuous with women that he was just tired. So I definitely believe there's definitely truth to what you're saying for sure. But I don't know, like I said, I agree with you about Too Freaky. Like I know that when I was like dating and stuff like that way back in the day, and men would just hit me up with some old crazy stuff, I'd be like, yeah, no. I remember, I'm gonna tell y'all, I remember it was this guy that really, really liked me. He was a black Hawaiian. Like he was born and raised in Hawaii and everything, but he had come to like, I don't want to give too much information about my different locations, but it's not where I live now, but it was another state I was living. He had come there. His parents had came there. And he was older, you know what I'm saying? But that's how he got there in the first place. So me and him was talking, and he really, really liked me. And I didn't dislike him. I didn't think that he was not cool, but I just felt like we probably weren't like on the same level. Like we just weren't gonna be a good fit. But I know that this man, he was telling me about like some freaky things that he had done. I don't know if I ever told this story, but he told me that he said he got a call from his best friend, and his best friend told him, hey, man, you know, my girl, and apparently this was this man's girl, like they had been together for years and years, said that she wanted to do something with the both of them together. And so he was going and telling me all this stuff about how he went over there and, you know, had relations with his boy and his boy's girl. And then he showed me this box of like all of these different Polaroid pictures of girls that were like naked and stuff. And I was just looking at this man clutching my pearls like, you know what? This is too freaky for your girl. Like, I could never, you wouldn't be satisfied with me ever. Cause I ain't doing I ain't doing none of this stuff you talk about. I swear. He used to be like, because I saw him later after that, you know, because we have the same friend circle. He'd always be like, why you ain't never gonna give me no play? Why you ain't never gonna give me no time? And I never would say nothing, but I really, in my mind, I was just like, Negro, you just too nasty, bro. You're just too nasty of a Negro. I can't do it. I can't do it. You just too nasty. You probably finna just do something that I'm not comfortable with. I remember one time I was kicking with him, and he just took my foot out of my shoe and just started rubbing on it. And I was just looking at him like, he was just too much for me. That's all I can say. There's nothing wrong with a good foot massage, but I'm just saying, like, he was just too freaked out. Just too freaked out. The whole vibes was just like, sir, like, no. I'm not open to whatever you talking about. I'm not open to whatever you talking about. And you know what? I also think it's a sign of a man being too freaky. If you've ever talked to a man, like let's just say, you know, you're dating, you're talking to him, you get to know him, and sometimes things may go, y'all may have a sexual conversation. I remember one time I was talking to this guy, and he told me we were having a conversation about like sex. We hadn't had sex, but we were having a conversation. And he told me that what he liked the most was anal and not vagina. And that to me also was a turn off. Like, okay, yeah, you know what? We're not gonna be fit. You'll never see me again because okay, everybody has a butt, and that's what you like the most. You don't like what's the difference between men and women? Yes sir, no. Because if that's what you like, you can get that from anybody. You don't have to just get that from yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, I get what y'all saying. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I do think that that's a big red flag. Freakiness. Not saying that you can't be freaky, y'all. I'm not saying be boring or anything like that or be a prude. I'm just saying that certain things, I feel like if men say them, they are red flags. That should give you some type of pause to be like, you know, yeah, you're probably on some other stuff that I may not be, you know, open to. Now, once again, if you're a freak, that's on you. I'm not shaming nobody. I ain't king shaming nobody and nothing like that. I'm just saying. I do believe that there are certain things that is just too freaky. You know, like scat play. That's a little too freaky. People talk about don't shame, but if you are a scat player, I would shame you. I would. I'd say you're a sicko and you need to be locked up. I really, yeah.
I'm shaming. I'm shaming. This is the reason why black women that women gotta take prep. This is the reason why we got all these weird ass diseases. We need to bring shame back. That's what we really need to do. That's why all this weird shit is going on now.
I did your ass saw me prepare these kids food and decided to make my life difficult. This is why you asked me to get slapped. This is why. Yes, slapped.
T, are you on T?
I
Huh? Ain't
think you,
shit.
I think, let me mute her, okay? But yeah, I mean, I feel you. Like, I do feel like certain things need to be shamed, though, honestly. But I think nowadays, like, you can't say nothing. But I do think that certain things like that, playing with boo boo, like, come on now, that's not freaky. You just nasty. Like, you're a sick person. Like, I don't even know what else to say to you. Like, what are we talking about? You know, like, get away.
I got one last thing to say about that because I know it's gonna get spicy. Protect the live, but I hate the comparison of vagina and booty hole. It's not the same thing. The vagina is a self-cleaning organism that's designed for in and out. The behind it's not. It's a one-way path and it's not self-cleaning. So stop trying to compare a vagina and a booty hole. It's not the same thing. That's one of my huge pet peeves. And that's no offense to no community, but it's just not the same thing and it won't ever be.
You know what? That's probably because you're in healthcare. Because I remember, I think I was like 16 years old and I was babysitting these kids and I was picking them up and spinning around and doing all this stuff and I felt something tear like inside me. And my mom took me to the doctor. We had a female doctor and she told me like you've torn I got like an anal fissure or whatever. And she was asking me at that time, like, are you sexually active? I was like, absolutely not. No, no, no. So she was like, you can get a fissure sometimes from like straining or whatever. So have you did anything that would cause like intense straining? And so I told her what had occurred, and she gave me this long lecture because I don't think that she believed me. So she gave me this long lecture on the fact that the world believes that you're supposed to be going in the back door, but it's an exit, not an entrance. If you're putting stuff inside of it, you can mess up like your the muscles or whatever inside your rectum that enable you to push it out. And she gave me this whole long lecture when I was like 16 years old. I was just me and my mom was just sitting there just looking at her like, bro. But I think now to say things like that, people would probably consider that hateful, even though that's actually true. But I don't know. It's just certain things, even though I know them probably to be true, not even probably, but to be true. I just don't even say nothing because you can't say nothing right now. Like I said, you can't even tell somebody playing with Doogie is wrong, or like Calandra said, getting peed on. You can't even tell somebody like, do you know that that's like degenerate behavior? Like, you'll just get cussed out. So I just don't say too much about it for fear that I'm just called an old prude, an old broad. Hey, it is what it is. All right, I'm an 80s baby. They just started normalizing oral in I think in the 80s and 90s where there wasn't shame attached to that. So all of this extra stuff, I can't my old mind can't wrap around it. Anyway, look, we've gone off the deep end. It's not even y'all. It's me. I encouraged all of this. I did it. I've gone off the deep end with you guys. I'm so sorry. This is the second day I've already went too far. Y'all remember yesterday I went too far anyway with the white people when I was talking about they smell like burnt pennies. I've already went too far. So now I've gone too far again. So I probably won't even upload this one either to YouTube. Here, I'm about to get off of here, y'all. If any of y'all got anything else to say, y'all can go ahead and speak. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live.
It's more of a wet dog bologna smell for me. I don't smell
Yeah.
the burnt penny, but the wet dog I definitely
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like, and sometimes I smell them and they smell like a copper. It's like a coppery, like almost like, like how, like if you taste blood on your tongue, like iodized smell. But I definitely get the wet dog and bologna too. I've smelled that as well. I have. Yeah, I've smelled that too, and it's very off putting, and it disturbs my spirit. You know, uh, yeah. But I think never mind. Let me not go down that road and say what I was going to say. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've been dying in the chat. I just wanted to say thank you for the live. I always love, joining these conversations, because like you just never know what you can learn. And I definitely also enjoy, like, when the topic is derailed a little bit, so it kind of provides some kind of comic relief, because the topics are usually so heavy but so important. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your platform.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I appreciate you too, Chilotam. Kalandra, send me a DM. All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate y'all hearing me just chop it up with y'all today. I know I got a little bit out of pocket with what I was saying, but it's all good. I don't mind, you know. So,
Sorry
yeah.
about that, y'all. Y'all heard me cursing out my sister. That's what me and her be doing. You can even ask Supervillain. I threaten her night and day and night. That's just sisterly love. Sorry about that.
Oh, girl, that's no problem, please. If you hear me telling my kids I'm putting them up for adoption, I'll be saying that. I'll be saying, look, you know what? I'm putting y'all up for adoption. They just look at me like, yeah, okay. Because they know it ain't going to happen. Or I'll tell them, like, when I'm going out somewhere, they'll be like, so where you going? I'll be like, I'm going to pick up 2 new daughters. And once again, they look at me like, yeah, okay. And then my youngest daughter was like, yes, you say that all the time, but you come back here with nothing except stuff for us. So I guess that's not true. So now my kids already, they know my game. So I can't even, fool them.
Well, people be getting confused. They like how the way me and my family be talking. They be swearing up and down that we argue and we fight, and they be like, "Oh my God, y'all fighting!" But no, this is just how the way we talk. Like I said, my girl super villain can vouch. Like this is just how the way I talk to my family. That's why, like I'm cut from a different cloth. That's why I got tough skin on TikTok. Like you talking to somebody that grew up in a house full of women. My mother had 7 kids, 5 girls, only 2 sons, and we'll just wake up in the morning and say, "Yo, good morning, bitch." Like that's how it went in the house.
To say real quick, y'all know T as the big bad wolf, but she is so loving with her baby. So loving with her baby, y'all.
I can tell.
Yo,
I can
oh
tell.
my.
Why you calling those spots? No, I'm not. I'm
She is
mean.
Yeah,
so
Tia
loving with
Softy, I
her
know.
baby.
I believe it. I believe it. I know Tia Softy. I already know. I already know. She ain't fooling me. She ain't fooling me at all. But yeah. No, I wasn't tripping about nothing like that. I know how people interact with their families and stuff like that, y'all. But okay, you guys, I'll see y'all all later. I'll try to come back tomorrow, but if I can't come back tomorrow, I'll try to come back maybe the next day or whatever. But I love y'all. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to y'all today, especially T, because I don't think she's been on the panel for a few days. So I'm glad I got to talk to you, Miss T. Or were you on there? I don't even know. But I'm glad you were on here now. Kalandra, thanks so much. Chilotam, thanks so much. Supervillain, thanks so much. And Miss Gabrielle, thanks so much. And thanks to the ladies in the comments as well. I know Coach T was in there, and I think Miss Chrissy Baby was in there as well. Let me see if I can shout out some of the ladies in the chat. Yes, Miss Chrissy Baby, Mrs. OG, Morgan, of course. I'm so glad to see Fashion Prima Donna, Miss Lift with Liz, Britt, Miss Good News, Miss Brooklyn Shanae, Miss Sagittarius Brownlee, Pisces, Butterfly, Pinky as well. And I just want to say, y'all, thanks so much for y'all coming up. I appreciate y'all. All right, I will see y'all later. I hope y'all have a great evening. See y'all.